annual benefit statements, and nominate beneficiaries. Further, your pension savings are safeguarded by law, so scheme funds cannot be used to settle loans. Member benefits are protected from execution or attachment, even in cases of bankruptcy or death. The Retirement Benefits Authority plays a crucial role in managing your scheme. We supervise continuously, receiving quarterly and annual submissions from trustees and service providers. Your pension is in safe hands. Know your rights and trust Retirement Benefits Authority to keep your future secure. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line on 0800 720 300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future. Secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
In a world that is rapidly evolving, the digital landscape continues to reshape our economies and job markets. Tonight, we delve into latest initiatives in Kakamega, and a few minutes back, also the president led a conversation with a section of government officials and Kenyans on how to improve housing and job creation in the country. That aside, on the cabinet tonight, we take an in-depth look at our exclusive interview with John Koech, who has risen from humble beginnings in Chepalungu to become a key political figure. Good evening. I am Muchuma Odim in the highlights. President William Ruto visits his predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta, at his Gatundu family home and discuss issues of national and regional importance.
They have wasted a lot of time. Let them withdraw the case that is a state-sponsored.
The row over reconstituting IEBC depends as Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka's demand for withdrawal of suits against the process flops.
Corruption is a human problem, and unless and until we deal with that corrupt human nature, we may be fighting a futile battle.
The anti-graft body enlists the support of tech-savvy youth to enhance monitoring of public projects for malpractices. It is a cold evening in Nairobi, but we want to warmly welcome you to the broadcast. Our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Our sign language expert tonight is Anne Wangeshi. My colleague Tom Boyer is away, but he will be back next week. On to our lead story tonight. President William Ruto has today met former President Uhuru Kenyatta at his family home in Gatundu, where they engaged on issues of national and regional importance, including the need to achieve broader and inclusive political consensus in the governance of the country. The two also underscored the importance of cultivating a nationalistic, patriotic and harmonious working relationship among all Kenyans and stakeholders, including the three arms of government and religious leaders, to ensure collective national stability. They also discussed the candidature of Raila Odinga candidacy and called for the prompt resolution of the court matters regarding the reconstitution of the IEBC.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Asante sana. Asante. Thank you for nyama. Karibu sana bwana.
Now, meanwhile, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka wants Augustus Muli of the National Liberal Party to withdraw a case filed at Kiambu Court barring the formation of an independent electoral and boundaries commission selection panel to pave way for its reconstitution. However, Muli, who filed the suit to protest his removal from the selection panel, has vowed to stay put, saying he was rightfully chosen by majority of the 23 parties in Parliamentary Liaison Committee. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi says the two warring factions are to blame for the delay and not the government. Here is that report.
The stalemate in reconstituting the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC continues to play out as two warring sides, one led by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and the other by Augustus Muli of National Liberal Party, resort to grandstanding. Kalonzo maintains that Muli is a proxy of government operatives aiming to paralyze the reconstitution of IEBC.
Augustus is a young man I know, okay? And I'm always ready to talk to him. He's one of us. But he should not allow himself to be used because he knows the party he represents does not have one member of parliament or indeed an MCA, maybe an MCA, because the law is very clear that it should be parties with representation in parliament.
He said Azimio chose Koki Muli as his representative in the panel and demanded that Muli drops his case filed at Kiambu Court.
They have wasted a lot of time. Let them withdraw the case that is state-sponsored through a judge in Kiambu, user-friendly. Let him remain or let her remain nameless. But she knows what she has done because that was a tactic in order to delay the reconstitution of the panel in the first place and then the IEBC.
In a rejoinder, Augustus Muli faulted Kalonzo's stance, insisting he was elected by 16 political parties of the total 23 parties of the Parliamentary Liaison Committee, while Koki Muli managed 7 votes.
The only person who has pushed us to step down is Wiper Party, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka. They have asked me to step down because they have said I cannot represent the interests of the party leader. And that's why I've refused to step down. I will step down if the entire team that voted for me comes and says, please, let's find somebody else.
He, however, said he was ready for dialogue to unlock the deadlock. In a separate event in Kakamega, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi noted that the government is not a party in the stalemate, adding that the two rivals should resolve their differences outside the court.
Mimi na imani tutakuja kurekebisha haya maneno ya IEBC hivi karibuni. Mambo ya koti ikikwisha tutarekebisha ili tujipange vizuri, wawe na nafasi ya kutosha karibu miaka 2 hivi ya kuhakikisha kwamba utaratibu wa uchaguzi ambao utakuja 2027 utakuwa umetengenezwa kwa njia inayofaa.
Giverson Maina, Prime Edition.
Young people are being challenged to leverage technology and monitor public programs and projects for enhanced transparency and reporting malpractices in project implementation. The remarks were made during the International Anti-Corruption Day at commemorations at Strathmore University under the theme of Uniting the Youth Against Corruption and Shaping Tomorrow's Integrity. Yusuf Farah puts this story in perspective.
During the International Anti-Corruption Day, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission affirmed its commitment to partnering with and supporting youth empowerment programs to fight and reduce corruption.
Please criticize, call out, but the most important thing is to live by your words that you are a person of integrity and not merely by agitating through the voice and through other action.
Corruption is a human problem, and unless and until we deal with that corrupt human nature, we may be fighting a futile battle.
I see the potential Kenya has. The corruption is the shackle that you have, the Achilles heel of Kenya.
The youth on their part called for meaningful inclusion in anti-graft conversations to realize positive milestones in the fight against the endemic vice.
As a young person, I'm so concerned that today we have 10 billionaires with 100 millions and tens of millions poor people, and majority are young people.
Meanwhile, a report dubbed Wrong Direction by the Africa Center for Open Governance said corruption worsened between 2022 and 2024 as the government engaged in dubious contracts.
We've actually even changed our constitution, but the scale of corruption is actually increasing rather than decreasing.
Young people are being cautioned against succumbing to the allure of corruption. While taking stock of last year's success and lessons in the fight against corruption, the Anti-Corruption Commission is affirming its commitment to step up the fight and is calling on individuals, state and non-state actors alike to complement their efforts in realizing a corruption-free Kenya. Isufar reporting for Prime Edition in Nairobi.
Thank you, Farah. Now, the anti-gender-based violence crusaders are up in arms again. We'll be coming up with the details on that and many more with the clarity you deserve on the other side of the break. Stay.
Christmas ni sahi ishafika na ni kubwa kubwa. Kweli hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia star 570 hash option 1. Rudia star 570 hash option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55 TV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Nambuzi moja? Nambuzi 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra. Nambuzi moja? Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max. Nambuzi mbili? Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Nani kubwa kubwa? Hapa kuna ndogo ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
Wewe bro, nipatie hiyo risiti ya items. Wazi.
Cheki mimi sina ado hizo
Excuse, nilete risiti yangu ya items. Asante. Nice. Ani pesa ngapi? 3,000. Hebu nisaidie na ile risiti ya items.
Nimeshinda mili.
I'm the latest millionaire. Marry me, baby.
Yes! Guys, nimeshinda laptop. Nimeshinda TV 50 inches.
G-Nice na Receipt Legit promotion kutoka KRA. Download Receipt Legit app, scan QR code kwenye receipt yako, ujishindie zawadi kem kila wiki. Kuna grand prize ya milioni 3 kwa washindi watatu, milioni kila mmoja.
The Public Service Superannuation Fund, PSSF, established under the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Act of 2012, is a defined contributory scheme designed to serve dedicated civil servants teachers, and discipline services personnel. Since inception on January 1st, 2021, PSSF has made strides in operational efficiency and governance, ensuring your retirement benefits are managed responsibly and securely. We are excited to announce the 3rd Annual General Meeting AGM of PSSF, which will take place on Wednesday, 11th December 2024 from 9 a.m. at KICC, Nairobi. The AGM will be graced by the Chief Guest, Cabinet Secretary of the National Treasury and Economic Planning, FCPA, Honorable John Badingongo. Watch this event live on KBC Channel 1 as we present the financial statements and key updates. This is your opportunity to learn how your contributions are being managed and invested to secure your future. We encourage you to participate actively, ask questions, share your thoughts, and help shape the future of the Public Service Superannuation Fund. For more details and to confirm your attendance, please visit our website at www.psss.go.ke. PSSF, Empowering Futures.
Kenya Coast National Polytechnic is one of the leading TVET institutions in Kenya. Our hands-on training has ensured that our graduates acquire the necessary skills and competencies as required by the industry, leading to their absorption in the job market. We are inviting applications for various diploma, certificate and artisan courses for our January 2025 intake. We offer courses in maritime studies, engineering, health sciences, business and media studies, hospitality and tourism, ICT, driving courses and recognition of prior learning programs among other courses. We accept KUCCPS and SSP students and also accept transfer students. For more information, call the number on the screen or visit our website. Kenya Coast National Polytechnic, a regional flagship maritime transport and logistics center.
Welcome back to Prime Edition, our socials at KBC Channel 1. Now, the government, through the State Department of Social Protection, has initiated a review of policy aimed at effectively addressing the challenges faced by the most vulnerable individuals, including those classified as poor across the country. Addressing journalists at a media engagement in Nairobi, the department stated that key areas of focus include income security and health mitigation, such as health insurance, which aligns with the government's ongoing efforts to ensure universal health care is accessible to all Kenyans. The initiative is also supporting orphans and vulnerable children, whereby those identified can enroll in school without having to pay fees, with the government covering all expenses.
The President has committed to expand the cash transfers from the initial 1.2 million to today. We are talking about 1.75 million beneficiaries who are already listed under the cash transfers and actually benefiting.
4 key areas which touches on the poor and vulnerable groups that we support with social protection, although we say social protection touches on everyone. But if you look at how the policy is structured or pillared, you will see that in the first pillar we are focusing on how then can we guarantee income security to the poor and vulnerable, but not only those who are in employment, but also those who are not in employment, that is social assistance and social security.
Now, onto the story we earlier highlighted for you. Kenyan youth are being encouraged to enlist for the Muchuma Digital Enablement Program in order to benefit from the numerous digital skills available within the digital economy space. This was the rallying call as 2 more digital hubs were commissioned in Kakamega County, as Wycliffe Okech now reports.
Kakamega County Polytechnic and Shianda Polytechnic are the latest to be equipped with the Muchuma digital hubs, as the government seeks to establish such facilities across the 1,450 wards in the country. This is part of the government's deliberate scheme to harness the digital economy by creating an enabling environment for e-commerce and by equipping the Kenyan youth with digital literacy.
We are going to look at all policies to unlock digital jobs, online jobs, remote jobs.
So as Konza Technopolis, through the Muchuma Digital Enablement Program,
we've been able to provide the enabling environment for our young people to skill, upskill, and link them with digital job opportunities.
And I want to challenge research institutions. Let's look at lived experiences. We are connecting these people, but we do want to hear from them. What are they gaining from this connectivity? I think that is very key for us so that we can continue improving and providing what is needed.
Artificial intelligence and machine learning are among the myriad of digital skills that Kenyans are being encouraged to pursue in order to bridge the employment gap.
Another area that is really growing and is big is in the digital marketing space. So something as simple as search engine optimization. I'm saying this because majority of us are students, so for them just to take note. And then there's social media management.
What we have been asking the media to do is also to migrate and get jobs through content creation on the digital platforms where information flows very fast.
The main purpose for the digitalization of this institution is to at least empower youth with the technical skill to incorporate with the digital skills.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi reiterated the government's commitment to full digital transformation. He said at least 85% of government services are now available online, with plans underway to digitize more processes such as the recruitment of security personnel.
Na hatimaye tutaanza kuhakikisha kwamba efficiency inaingia kila pahali.
For Prime Edition from Kakamega County, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Now, from Kakamega to the county of Nairobi, and onto a story that many Kenyans are keeping a close eye. Anti-gender-based violence campaigners want a stronger multi-sectoral response to GBV incidences, both at the national and county levels, to combat the increasing cases of the vice. During a stakeholders forum in Nairobi County, they said the fight against the vice can only be won on through coordinated efforts and more punitive laws to deter perpetrators. Meanwhile, the Executive Director of Community Advocacy and Awareness Trust, Daisy Amdani, has warned against retrogressive cultures that claw back on the gains made in the fight against gender-based violence.
These are the cultures that perpetuate gender-based violence. So it's our high time now to start talking about and really abolishing these cultures.
Women are still very disadvantaged. However, we know that where there is an economic downturn, the frustrations that are felt end up leading to violent engagements.
And today we are coming together as a team, as organizations in the sector to say no, to break the silence.
The government wants drone operators to use the devices within strict regulations. The Kenya Civil Aviation Authority says despite the revolution the technology has brought to the film and content creation industry, its use must be closely monitored to ensure it does not infringe on the security, safety and privacy of the Kenyan airspace. Here is that story by Jacqueline Masharia.
For ages, aerial shots were limited to big film and television productions. However, in recent years, drones have replaced helicopters. Filmmakers and content creators are increasingly attracted to the power of the device, some of which can be bought for as low as 160,000 Kenya shillings. The government is, however, reminding operators to follow the law before deploying the device into Kenyan airspace. According to the regulation, a drone operator must receive approval before using the device to film.
If today you are arrested, you don't have an import permit, you don't have registration, you don't have insurance, you don't have an RPL, the charges will be between 6 million to 12 million, 6 years to 12 years, or both.
The Kenya Film Classification Board, while appreciating the growth of the local film industry, maintained that the content must be clean and family-friendly.
The platforms such as Meta and TikTok are only able to monetize content that is not rated adult content. So it's important that we work towards creating clean content so that we enjoy the benefits of our skills as creatives.
The government has over the years appeared conservative in its approach to the creation and consumption of content, including those produced and circulated locally.
If you create content that the one we call is very nice but is adult, it will be watched, yes, it will be a spike for the night when these adults are awake. There are very few adults. Most of the people are asleep. The next morning it's forgotten. You will not be able to monetize that content.
Jacqueline Masharia for Prime Edition.
Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos Ogamba says the new university funding model has progressed well, easing the financial challenges the higher institutions face. Now, this and other stories in our county briefs.
Speaking at the Masai Mara University during its 12th graduation ceremony, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba said over 41 billion shillings has been disbursed to the universities to benefit about 240,000 students through loans and scholarships since the introduction of the new funding model.
Out of the 40 public universities or so, 23 had been declared technically insolvent. The introduction of the new funding model for higher education, also known as the student-centered funding model, was designed to specifically address these challenges and restore our universities to a path of growth and sustainability.
Elsewhere, the government through the State Department for Social Protection has embarked on formulating a new policy which will comprehensively address issues affecting the most vulnerable persons in the society.
Programs have given a lot of dignity for the households that are currently being supported. It has also, under the older persons, been able to give these people, the older persons, a sense of living and a sense of hope.
Meanwhile, government spokesperson Dr. Isaac Maura has revealed that a total of 149,000 Kenyans have been connected to online job opportunities, with over 490,000 others already equipped with digital skills.
Na tunasema kazi kwa ground, kazi mtandaoni na kazi majuu. Na hili ni jambo ambalo ni nzuri zaidi. Utakuta kwamba kuna taasisi mbalimbali za kiserikali ambazo ziko hapa katika ukumbi wa KICC ili Wakenya ambao ni waajiriwa watarajiwa waweze kupata nafasi ya kujua wataweza kuajiriwa namna gani.
In other news, Central Organization for Trade Unions Secretary General Francis Atwoli has expressed dissatisfaction in waste management in Nairobi and Mombasa cities.
Garbage everywhere. And nobody is seeing that, for your information. And these people are on planes always going to Europe. I don't know what they see in small cities outside there.
Meanwhile, residents of Ongata-Rongai have criticized Kajiado County government for laxity in a fire tragedy that raised down a 3-story building in the area.
Nobody has come here. Sisi ndio tulijitolea, tunakimbizana huku, and the area people, tenants, hao ndio wamezima hii moto.
If we have moto, watu wako ndani na hakuna mtu anatusaidia, tunashindwa kama tuko na government ya Kajiado ama hatuna, tuko na governor ama hatuna.
Finally, professionals from Imenti in Meru County have joined forces to support the youth in the area through initiatives such as setting up ICT hubs.
It's very, very important. Na tumezunguka kama vile mmeeleza, na tumeona hakuna jingine tunawasaidia watoto wetu, wajukuu wetu, kama mimi ni babu lazima tusaidie.
Martini Maslin for Prime Edition.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. Your boom experience pia iko.
mamlaka ya ukusanyaji ushuru nchini inakuletea kampeni ya umma ya G-Nice na Risiti Legit. Thibitisha risiti yako ukitumia app ya Risiti Legit, upate nafasi ya kuibuka mshindi wa zawadi kemkem kama vile shilingi milioni 1 pesa taslim, laptops, televisheni ya inchi 50, smartphones na zawadi zingine. Jumanne tarehe 10 tutakuwa Syokimau, Mlolongo, Kitengela, Athi River, Machakos na viunga vyake na Tala. Pata app ya Risiti Legit kwa Google Play Store au App Store kwa maelezo ya kuingia katika mashindano ya Risiti Legit. G-Nice na Risiti Legit. KRA, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee.
Have a complaint, or is something just not adding up with your pension scheme? It's easy to file a complaint directly with the Retirement Benefits Authority, and it's absolutely free. Just visit www.complaints.rba.go.ke and follow the prompts to file your complaint. RBA will acknowledge your complaint within 7 working days. Your complaint will be reviewed and addressed within 30 working days. Your time and peace of mind are important, and anyone dissatisfied with a decision of RBA can appeal to the Independent Retirement Benefits Appeals Tribunal. RBA is here to listen and resolve your complaint promptly, because your retirement should be stress-free. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line 0800-720-300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future. Secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Thank you for staying with Prime Edition. We now look at the day's business news. My name is Wairimu Jenga. Now we kick off with the Ministry of Tourism, which is targeting to attract 2.5 million tourists between July 2024 to the end of June next year, up from 2.18 million tourists realized in the year of June 2024. Speaking during a performance evaluation with the Deputy Chief of Staff, Eliud Owalo, Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano said a number of initiatives have been employed to realize increased tourist arrivals. Owalo says performance evaluation execution exercise that will take 2 months will measure the extent to which commitments made at the beginning of the financial year are met.
You see, overall, why we are institutionalizing performance management is to ensure that we get results. We move from a situation where everything is based on rituals and formalities to a culture of results in the public service. You are aware that everything that we do is financed by public resources.
I look forward to some of the parameters that we have, like the tourist earnings, tourist numbers, the support in human-wildlife conflict. And one exciting one is that we were supposed to provide water to the communities where those that reside with the wildlife, and I'm sure that one at least we have done quite a bit.
Now, the Kenya Revenue Authority collected 1 trillion shillings between July and November this year, representing our 4.3% growth when compared to last year's collections. The Kenya Revenue Authority says collections were affected by various economic indicators that directly impact revenue mobilization.
The Kenya Revenue Authority says customs recorded an above 70 billion mark monthly collection in the last 4 months between August and November 2024. Cumulatively between July and November 2024, custom revenue collections were at 359.571 billion shillings, a growth of 5.9% over 339.678 billion shillings realized during a similar period last year. Domestic taxes amounted to 643.790 billion shillings in July to November 2024, translating to a revenue growth of 3.5% over 621.984 billion shillings realized in the same period of 2023. However, KRA says despite its impressive 5-month turnaround, Its revenue mobilization was affected by certain economic indicators, key among them the significant low domestic demand as indicated by the Slowed Purchasing Managers Index that averaged at 48.94 points in July to November 2024, indicating a contraction in the economic activities. This is also indicative from the modest growth in overall import values of goods by 1% in the last 5 months of 2024, which is a main source of both raw materials and final consumer goods. The Kenya Revenue Authority is targeting to collect 2.704 trillion shillings in the current financial year. Ndota Mokami for Prime Edition.
Last but not least, small and medium enterprises in the agri-food value chain in Western Kenya will access low-cost funding courtesy of an initiative by GIZ. Here is Benson Rioba with the details.
The informal sector accounts for 90% of new jobs in Kenya, based on data from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. To strengthen the informal sector, the German government has availed a kitty to support SMEs in the agri-food value chain to access low-cost working capital and linkages to financial institutions.
We also have the enterprises that have grown. These are growth stage enterprises. We have an approach called SME Loop that is supported by GIZ. Through the SME Loop as well, we support growth stage enterprises. And we again have business coaches who support the enterprises.
Dala Feeds is among 10 startups that have been funded to expand operations in Western Kenya.
Dala came about to be a feed that is produced locally and from home, and we are able to buy raw materials from the farmers. That is for the maize, as low as 1 bag.
The miller says access to working capital has seen it expand its operations and create employment opportunities.
So as KPF, we buy back broilers and eggs from our farmers, but the biggest challenge for our farmers is market. So we have identified a lot of women in the slums that come and offtake our broilers mostly. So we use it as a model to empower them.
The acceleration program is part of the 680 million shillings that the German government has earmarked to accelerate agriculture development and training in Western Kenya.
And on that note, we wrap up business news for tonight. On the other end of the studio, we have Karen Kibet with the day's sports. My name is Odim Mujenga. We take a short commercial break. Have a good night.
Wewe bro, nipatie hiyo risiti ya items.
Wazi wazi.
Cheki mimi sina ado hizo
Excuse, nilete risiti yangu ya items. Asante.
Nice.
Ni pesa ngapi?
3,000.
Hebu nisaidie na ile risiti ya items.
Nimeshinda mili. I'm the latest millionaire. Marry me, baby.
Yes! Guys, nimeshinda laptop. Nimeshinda TV 50 inches.
Nice na Receipt Legit promotion kutoka KRA. Download Receipt Legit app, scan QR code kwenye receipt yako, ujishindie zawadi kem kila wiki. Kuna grand prize ya milioni 3 kwa washindi watatu, milioni kila mmoja.
Welcome back. Thank you for keeping it KBC Prime Edition. It's now time for sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, Kenya's Parliament Athletics and Tug of War teams have contributed to the excitement of this year's East African Legislative Assembly Games, and the final days of the competition will be crucial in determining whether they can clinch the coveted title.
The Kenyan 4x100 meters team, led by Captain Vincent Kawaya, Jense Leimengit, Charles Nguna and Bernard Ketua, clocked a time of 53.7 seconds to emerge victorious ahead of East African Legislature Assembly and Uganda, who finished in the second and third places respectively.
It was really important for us to take gold in this particular race so that we can also stamp authority in what we are known best for.
Kenya won. They beat the champions, last year's champions, the Ugandans, and I'm excited.
In the women's category, Kenya settled for bronze, finishing third behind Uganda and Tanzania, who took the first two places respectively.
4x1 imekuwa mzuri, bado kuna ingine ya 4x4 ndaweza kukimbia this week.
Countries zingine zilikuwa pia zimejiprepare kweli. Lakini nilijikakamua.
Robert Sekitoleeko of Uganda won the 400 meters men ahead of compatriot Warakach Simon and Kenya's Kitonga Mkenji, who completed the podium positions.
Mambo ya integration, wale watu ambao wanafaa kuongoza ni michezo na culture ambayo inashikanisha wananchi, na kupitia hizi michezo za East Africa ambayo hii si mara ya kwanza kufanyika, inasaidia sana sisi tunaweza ku-exchange our cultures and our social activities kama watu wa East Africa kupitia hii michezo.
In the tug of war, Kenya's men's team lost to Tanzania in the first group match game but secured a 2-1 win over Uganda.
Wale wa Tanzania sana wao wanatumia mbinu ambazo zimekuwa banned kuanzia leo. Mbinu za kurukaruka, unavuta kamba ukirukaruka. Wale wako na mbinu ya kurukaruka kidogo kuinua kamba. Lakini wale wengine wa Uganda wao wanacheza kutumia sheria zile ziko. Ni kuvuta kamba.
The women's team lost to both Tanzania and Uganda.
After the completion of day 3 of the ongoing IALA Games here in Mombasa, where Team Kenya emerged victorious in athletics and tug of war, the Kenyan team will enter the field tomorrow, aiming to bag the overall title end of these events. Reporting for Prime Edition from Baraki Grounds, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Thank you, Dan Mwenda, for keeping us up to speed with what's happening at the IALA Games. Moving on, the newly elected Football Kenya Federation President Hussein Mohamed has expressed confidence that Kenya will be ready to co-host the African Nations Championships CHAN in February next year. Speaking at the FKF offices at Kasarani, Mohamed stated that he will engage with the Sports Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Kipchumba Murkomen, and other stakeholders to expedite their preparations. The Confederation of African Football has set a deadline of December 31st to Kenya to demonstrate its readiness to host the event. If preparations are not completed, Rwanda is reportedly poised to join Uganda and Tanzania as a third co-host. The African Nations Championship will take place from February 1st to 28th next year. In addition, Kenya is set to jointly host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations alongside Tanzania and Uganda. Moving on, Kitaka FC and Fire Rangers were crowned champions of the inaugural Mama Haki Foundation Peace Cup, which ended over the weekend in Mombasa. Kitaka defeated Vimbwanga FC in the men's final, while Fire Rangers won the women's title after beating Likoni Starlets in the final.
Kitaka FC proved too good in the men's final at the Mama Haki Foundation Peace Cup as they thrashed Vimbwanga FC 4-0 in a one-sided final at the Mwahima Stadium in Likoni. Fire Rangers also proved too good but from the spot by beating Likoni Starlets 4-3 in the women's final in a game that had ended in a draw.
Na muniulize kwa nini nimeleta mchuano wa amani? Kwa sababu utovu wa usalama unaoendelea Likoni ni baina ya vijana ambao ni ndugu moja. Nikaona ipo haja tuje tukae pamoja, tucheze kwa amani ili niweze kutoa madukuduku yangu.
A total of 72 teams which began the tournament received soccer balls and kits, with the men's overall winner receiving a cash reward of 200,000 shillings, while the ladies' winner walked away with a cash prize of 100,000 shillings.
Mama Haki, yeye ako kwa kamati yangu kule Senate, na wakati aliniambia tuna michezo hapa ya kuleta uwiano, kuleta amani, mimi nikasema nitakuja.
The Mama Haki Foundation Peace Cup represented a comprehensive approach to community development, combining athletic excellence with peace-building initiatives.
48 teams will battle for the top prize of the Masengeli football tournament, which kicked off last evening and will run until 31st of December this year in Trans Nzoia. The tournament has been organized to encourage the youths to take up sports as a way of steering them away from social evils. Blessed FC defeated Red Arrow 2-1 in the tournament's opening game, while in the ladies' opening game, Koi Koi beat Kipsagam 1-0.
Youths in Trans Nzoia have been encouraged to embrace opportunities in sports and technology as a way of bettering their future lives. With tournaments like the Masengeli football tournament, which kicked off yesterday, the youths were urged to explore the opportunities as pathways to a brighter future. Before kickoff, they were educated on the critical need to engage in developmental initiatives that can enhance their prospects and uplift their communities.
This is to nurture talents of the youth, so that they can participate, especially in this festive season. You know, sports is really a very important event to our country. You can remember our athletics have taken our country high, and Gilbert Masengeli is really passionate. Mr. Gilbert Masengeli is passionate. Our DIG is very passionate about sports. That is why he had decided to use this foundation to assist, fund these teams to be able to play these games.
The 3-week tournament has attracted a total of 48 teams that will all be fighting for the top prize. The best 3 performing teams will be awarded cash prizes after the final to be played on 31st December this year.
We're going to be taking around 20 young people from here. Because of the relationship that we've built with them, we'll offer them that opportunity. As we set up the center in Kitale, we will also be taking around 20 of them and providing them with jobs. These are full-time jobs. The opportunity you're providing is just at level 1. It's full-time, yes, but we want to just introduce them to the digital space and then now start introducing them to the professional line of jobs that exist in the digital world. So the jobs are there. We'll give them the entry-level jobs, but in the long run, we'll have trainings, and we'll also avail them opportunities to, get these tier 2, tier 3 level jobs that, are more sustainable.
Humphrey Muchuma, the CEO of Inua AI, commended the leadership in the Western region for their proactive approach in creating initiatives aimed at steering youths away from social evils, and emphasized the importance of encouraging them to participate in sport and pursue careers in the digital realm, fostering a more promising future for the next generation. There will be a total of 32 men's teams and 8 lady teams. 8 teams for juniors under the age of 14 years will also compete in the tournament.
Thank you, Buckley, for that report. Now, finally, Junaid Manji survived a late charge from Krish Shah and Savi Soni to win the inaugural NCBA Central Rift Junior Open at the Nakuru Golf Club. Only 3 shots separated the top 4 golfers.
Junaid Manji had a fair score of 78 on day 1 and followed it up with a score of 74 in the second round and a disappointing 82 points in the third round to win the inaugural NCBA Central Rift Junior Open.
They were great. They all are very good players as well. So, I just keep encouraging them to get better, because every day you have to get better.
Krish Shah finished second, just 1 stroke behind Manji. In third place was Savi Soni, 1 shot behind Shah and 2 strokes behind the winner. 14-year-old Belinda Wanjiru was the overall winner in the girls category with a score of 237, 3 shy of the overall winner.
For me, I'd say probably hole number 7, because it's a bit trickier for me because I play more of a fade. So that means my ball travels from left to right. So on that hole, you'd rather be on the left. But on the last 3 days, I've been on the right, which made it a bit harder for me to score on that hole.
Felix Cheriot won the boys 19 to 21 years category.
And that particular report brings us to the end of the sports news tonight. My name is Karen Kibet. I'll see you tomorrow with more sports news. After this short break, my colleague Muchuma Odim will be back with more. Do not go too far. Good night.
Christmas ni sahi ishafika na ni kubwa kubwa. Kweli? Hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia star 570 hash option 1. Rudia. Star 570 hash option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55 inch TV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Nambuzi moja? Nambuzi. 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra. Nambuzi moja? Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max. Nambuzi mbili? Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Nani kubwa Hapa kuna ndogo ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
Mamlaka ya ukusanyaji ushuru nchini inakuletea kampeni ya umma ya G-Nice na Risiti Legit. Thibitisha risiti yako ukitumia app ya Risiti Legit, upate nafasi ya kuibuka mshindi wa zawadi kemkem kama vile shilingi milioni 1 pesa taslim, laptops, televisheni ya inchi 50, smartphones na zawadi zingine. Jumanne tarehe 10 tutakuwa Syokimau, Mlolongo, Kitengela, Athi River, Machakos na viunga vyake na Tala. Pata app ya Risiti Legit kwa Google Play Store au App Store kwa maelezo ya kuingia katika mashindano ya Risiti Legit. G-Nice na Risiti Legit. KRA, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee. The Public Service Superannuation Fund, PSSF, established under the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Act of 2012, is a defined contributory scheme designed to serve dedicated civil servants, teachers, and disciplined services personnel. Since inception on January 1st, 2021, PSSF has made strides in operational efficiency and governance, ensuring your retirement benefits are managed responsibly and securely. We are excited to announce the third annual General Meeting AGM of PSSF, which will take place on Wednesday, 11th December 2024 from 9 a.m. at KICC Nairobi. The AGM will be graced by the Chief Guest, Cabinet Secretary of the National Treasury and Economic Planning, FCPA, Honorable John Badingongo. Watch this event live on KBC Channel 1 as we present the financial statements and key updates. This is your opportunity to learn how your contributions are being managed and invested to secure your future. We encourage you to participate actively, ask questions, share your thoughts, and help shape the future of the Public Service Superannuation Fund. For more details and to confirm your attendance, please visit our website at www.psss.go.ke. PSSF, empowering futures.
Thank you for keeping it Prime Edition. Now, the youth have attributed their low participation in climate change initiatives to lack of trust in them by the government. Details on that and many more, do log on to www.kbc.co.ke. Now, as we come to the close, thank you so much for your feedback on our socials at KBC Channel 1. And we will not call it a wrap without the cabinets. Tonight, we feature the remarkable journey of John Koech, a man whose political career spanned decades and defined party lines. From his humble beginnings in Chepalungu to his role as a key negotiator in Sudan and Somalia peace talks, Koech's legacy is one that would interest students of history owing to his resilience and dedication to public service. Join us as we explore his stint as a cabinet minister in the administration of the country's third president, Mwai Kibaki. I'll leave you with that by Jackie Wambiru. My name is Muchuma. Odim on our sign language experts tonight is Anne Wangeshi. Good night and see you tomorrow exactly at 9 in the night, God willing. God bless.
Born in Olbutio, Chepalungu, Koech attended Sigimik Primary School before proceeding to Tenwek High School, also in Bomet District since renamed Bomet County following the advent of the 2010 Constitution. It is at Tenwek that he sat for his O and A-level examinations. He would excel and join Makerere University in Uganda in 1969. He would later graduate with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics in 1972. After his graduation, he worked as a high school teacher for 2 years between 1973 and 1975. At only 28 years of age, he would take the bold step to resign from his position as a teacher and contest for a political seat. His risk would fail to bear fruit as he failed to secure the position of Member of Parliament for Chepalungu, forcing him to return to his teaching job. Once he was back in the classroom, he was promoted to senior manager in the Provincial Education Office in Nyeri. He would once again resign ahead of the 1979 general poll to try his luck for the Chepalungu seat. This time, the odds appeared to be in his favor, and he was elected. And as fate would have it, he would then be appointed as Cabinet Minister for Public Works. His political fortunes would remain on an upward trajectory until 1989, when he was fired from Cabinet, expelled from KANU, and subsequently lost his seat as Chepalungu Member of Parliament to Kimunai Arap Soy in the ensuing by-election. His political misfortunes came about as he was accused of being disloyal to the president. He was out in the cold for a short stint before making a comeback in the country's first multi-party elections when he was elected Chepalungu Member of Parliament in the 1992 poll. He would remain in Parliament until 1997, when he dramatically resigned. He is reported to have driven to one of the country's local daily offices and requested for a pen and paper, and proceeded to pen his resignation letter in a single sentence. His actions were a protest in which he alleged he had suffered humiliation after being denied entry to the late President Daniel Moi's Kabarak home. He would later lose the 1997 parliamentary election, even though Koech was later persuaded to rescind his resignation letter and take back his job. He had made a name for himself as a principled politician. He would once again make a comeback 5 years later in 2002, where he won back his seat in joint cabinet, even though KANU, the party that sponsored him to parliament, had been obliterated in the elections. In 2004, he was appointed Minister for East African and Regional Cooperation in the Kibaki administration. In August 2004, the president handed him the chairmanship of the Sudan and Somalia peace talks. He took over the East African Community Ministry at a time when Kenya was playing the lead role in peace negotiations in Somalia and Sudan. His highlight as the negotiating team would come when the parties signed the Sudan Comprehensive Peace Agreement (CPA) in January 2005 at Nairobi's Nyayo Stadium, ending 21 years of civil war between the north and south of Sudan. He is credited with delicately juggling Kenya's interest at a time when President Kibaki was trying to chart a new chapter in foreign relations with Uganda and Tanzania, then the only members of the EAC. On 11th October 2007, he defected from KANU to Odinga's new party, Orange Democratic Movement. 5 days later, he was sacked from his ministerial position. He soon changed parties again, this time to Kalonzo Musyoka's ODM Kenya, after Isaac Ruto beat him to the ODM ticket in the party primaries. Isaac Ruto also won the Chepalungu seat in the 2007 general election. After his 2007 defeat and a half-hearted run for the Bomet governorship in 2013, he retired from active politics, content that he had done his best for his constituents and his country. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.